Welcome to Drovers TV. I'm John Hamilton.
And I'm Terry Apostle. Drovers TV is the latest offering from Drovers, America's beef business source.
Thanks for joining us for the latest cattle industry news.
We have some great information covering animal health, ranch management, and much more.
Here's what's on tap.
We find out about choosing the sex of your calves.
Steve Owens at the Joplin Regional Stockyards is here with a backgrounding tip.
And Dr. Tom Edwards discusses detecting pregnancies in feedlot cattle. In today's ranch management, we catch up with Dustin Dean at Sexing Technologies, a company offering sexed semen for artificial insemination in beef and dairy cattle. The technology first caught on in the dairy industry, where there's a big value difference between female and male calves, but it can also be valuable to beef producers.
There's no question that the bread and butter of our business has been the dairy industry, but we are making a full court press on the beef industry right now. And the great thing that we're finding about sex semen in the beef industry is just about any production program where you have a value and gender difference between your males and females that starts to reach over $100, that's it, sex semen becomes a really good viable option for you. And we can prove that economically. We've hired the consulting services of a retired economist from Texas A&M named Dr. Jim McGran, and we've built these very extensive economic decision aids that are available on our website. You can go in there and calculate the return on investment of using sex semen in your operation, no matter if you're a commercial operator or if you're a seed stock operator.
Dustin says commercial producers can purchase sexed semen from top AI sires or work with the company to separate sexed semen from their own bulls, whether they want male or female calves.
A common question we get, people say, if I have sex semen made on my bull, do I just have to take one gender? Absolutely not. So you can definitely take both genders, and some breeds only want one gender. Holstein, they only want the female, absolutely. But if you get into a breed like Angus, for example, there's not that big of spread in value between the males and females, and some operations definitely have animals that they would like to have a female out of, and some females that they would like to have a bull calf out of. But the great thing is that we give them that option. Another thing that we're pushing now very quickly is that the cost of sex semen has been cut in half of where it used to be.
Finally, Dustin says sexed semen today is at least 90% pure, meaning 90% of conceptions will be the chosen sex. Conception rates with sexed semen are 80 to 85% of those with conventional AI.
Our expert tip comes from Steve Owens with Joplin Regional Stockyards. He helps producers market a lot of cattle and sees firsthand what makes them money. Take notes, because this tip could pay off for cow-calf producers this year.
This is Steve Owens with Joplin Regional Stockyards, and I'm here with your weekly profit tip. A lot of farms have an extra 50 to 120 acres that they're not utilizing. They might be using the rest of the farm for a cow-calf operation. But with that extra land, it only takes 90 to 120 days. You can buy some calves from Joplin Regional Stockyards, background them, even use our video to manage your risk and sell those cattle up front. But in that 90 to 120 days, you might have the opportunity to make from $100 to $150 a head. It's a good return on an asset that might be sitting idle.
For our animal health segment, we visit with Dr. Tom Edwards, a consulting veterinarian with Midwest Veterinary Services based in Nebraska. Dr. Edwards works with a number of large feed yards and uses ultrasound to check for bred heifers as they enter the feed yard.
We're trying to look at the heifers coming into the feed yard, and we're using this for a tool to identify cattle that come in and that we need to use a different management strategy to try and manage those heifers. And it's been a really good tool for us out there to identify these heifers. The use of ultrasound, we can sure pick them up a lot earlier, do a little bit better on our timing of the catching the heifers like this. A lot easier on the guys using the equipment as well.
Dr. Edwards says the ultrasound system can detect bred heifers as early as 30 days into gestation, helping to prevent a number of costly problems.
One thing we've learned looking at a lot of the research that's out there, a bred heifer coming to the feed yard certainly going to cost us in carcass weights, yields, just an overall just performance loss that we see off of a bred heifer. So certainly manage them into a different program, help us maximize our profits off those cattle, looking at the weights, the gains, and everything else to go with it. Certainly the one thing the cowboys like is they don't find a bunch of those heifers calving out there in the pen. That's not a good scenario for us out there. Again, I think we need to consider other things just than our own thoughts on performance, but also looking at animal welfare issues. That's not something we want to have out in the feedlot. Trying to do everything we can out there to make sure that they're under the best conditions.
Amanda Greenwell and Samantha Plegemeyer are animal science students at Colorado State University and members of the CSU seed stock team. They caught up with John Madej at the NCBA convention to talk about the CSU's bull sale while serving as ambassadors for the university.
Each year we have a bull sale that we have in March, and one of our big advertising tools is to come here and set up a booth and get people involved and get them information on what we have to offer as far as the bull sale goes and what we have to offer as far as the university as a whole.
The seed stock team gives students a lot of hands-on experience with preparing for the sale, and each team member has a role to play.
I work with our Angus herd, so I do the registering there. The rest of the team members, there's 9 of us total, so everyone plays a part, whether it's marketing or preparing for the bull sale, or maybe it's cattle preparation and really working with the animals themselves to get things ready.
I've been working with the breed associations, so my role in the seed stock team is to get all our Hereford cattle registered. So I've been working with them one-on-one and getting everything set up and making sure everything's registered, everything's up to date, and everything's in the system. So that's what I personally do.
The CSU sale took place in March and for the first time was combined with Leachman Cattle of Colorado Spring Sale. Dr. Jason Ahola manages the seed stock program and tells us 145 buyers from 25 states and 4 foreign countries purchased cattle. The CSU Angus bulls averaged $2,430 per head, and the Hereford bulls averaged around $2,290 per head. The 3 top CSU bulls, 2 Herefords and 1 Angus, sold at $3,500 per head. Congratulations are in order to the seed stock team for a successful sale.
In Food and Consumer, we chat with Dr. Bo Reagan, who directs research and development efforts at NCBA. This includes beef safety, product development, and other areas. He works closely with food companies and restaurants to introduce new beef products, including one with the food delivery company Schwan's.
One thing we're tickled about there that's coming out of our beef research from product enhancement we linked into new products is what we call beef bites, which are pieces of beef muscle, and they're marketing that as an alternative to chicken nuggets.
In the beef safety area, Dr. Reagan says NCBA is working with university researchers and beef packers to develop additional ways to keep pathogens from contaminating beef.
We have turned our focus this year, we're looking at systems instead of individual interventions. So what we're looking at doing when we talk about systems, we're talking about what is the advantage when you stack a number of interventions up. So if we have vaccines or we have phages that we can use at the feed yard, what impact does that have on the interventions that we have in the plant?
The group also spends a lot of time getting the word out about beef's role in good nutrition and health and dispelling misinformation about beef.
We're releasing a major document where we've gone back and summarized all the cancer research that has been done. We're very proud of that one, and it basically shows there's no relationship between beef and colon cancer and a number of other ones.
With NCBA's involvement, 5 major packing plants now use instrument grading for objective measurements of USDA quality grade, and 5 more are about to come online.
With the instrument grading, what we're seeing, it is, we're consistent because we have a standardized procedure on validating those cameras every day. We actually do it a couple of times a day. That's whether you're in the south or northeast or wherever, we're seeing that the grades are being applied uniformly across the U.S., which is huge for our producers.
Thanks for sharing that with us, Bo.
And we have really appreciated all of the feedback and suggestions that our viewers have shared with us about Drovers TV. So keep it coming.
And we'll be back in 2 weeks with more of the industry information you need. Until then, take care.